Hey everyone, how you all doing? Today, in this video, you guys will learn everything about the working and classification system of the powers in Jujutsu Kaisen. This video doesn't contain spoilers, so stay cool. I did it using all the information until now, but I only used the examples that already happened in the anime. But before we start, put your like and subscribe, and let's roll my fancy opening. Okay, so starting from the beginning, mankind, with their negative emotions like fear, sorrow, grief, and anger, are constantly producing cursed energy, which it's called Juryoku. What the curses and the sorcerers do with it is literally manipulate this energy. They work with it and use it to make their spells. If we consider this cursed energy in its purest shape, the only thing we could do is to boost human body's physical condition, like a stronger punch, the way the Yuuji does, or a reinforced body like Todo has, for example. To create sorcery or so-called cursed techniques, the Jutsushiki, this is difficult to say, Jutsushiki. The sorcerer has to be able to manipulate his energy in different manners, something that Yuuji will stop here, unfortunately. That's where our protagonist stops. The cursed techniques split in different categories. With them, the sorcerer is able to infuse energy in objects like Nobara does with her nails, is able to create cursed corpses from dolls like the director of the Jutsu school in Tokyo does. And also they are able to manipulate things like Gojou did with the juice can. The possibilities are simply endless, but we should keep an eye on three that are very important and have a lot of emphasis in the anime. The first branch is the Innate Techniques, the Shotoku Jutsushiki. These abilities already come with the newborn sorcerer, which will manifest about the age of 5 or 6. They are exclusive and most of them cannot be learned by anybody else, and the sorcerer with it ends up training and mastering, of course. In this branch we have, surprise, yes, Nobara Kugizaki, yeah. Her innate ability is the straw doll, which she takes a small sample of the enemy like hair, skin or whatnots, and she strikes with her doll with cursed energy, damaging the enemy wherever he is. Another guy who possesses an innate ability is Kento Nanami. This old grumbler dude, he's actually so amazing that you guys will end up seeing here in other categories too. His ability is the ratio technique. In his mind, he sees 10 points in the enemy, and 3 of those are weak spots on which he can land a critical blow. Because of that, he can win against enemies of a lot stronger than him. To the next branch, there are the inherited techniques, the Soden Jutsushiki. As you can see in its name, the ability are passed down through the bloodline of sorcerers' families. These techniques are important to keep the characteristics of the family and to show their strength. You got it? Amidst the characters who have this, we find Megumi Fushiguro. In this case, the divine dogs were taught by the Zenin family. In fact, this technique is called 10 shadows, because the sorcerer can summon up to 10 shikigamis. He starts with 2, that are the dogs, the white and the black, and he keeps developing the ability until he can summon all. Another person who learned from his family is the coolest, super stylish and funny guy, Gojou Saturou. His ability is called Limitless. This ability is a bit weird because it basically twists the time-space, and this allows endless possibilities, starting from teleporting, flying, and even preventing attacks against him, and etc. The techniques you saw in episode 7, Mugen and Mukagen, are only the two things that Limitless can do, so imagine how far it goes. And also Gojou was the person who mastered this better than anyone. So it's like I say, okay, pay attention now. He doesn't think he's strong. He's absolutely sure. The next branch is the barrier techniques, the Kekai Jujutsuki. This technique includes all the abilities that work with the area of effect idea. In this category, there's that old man of the car, remember him? Whose name is Kiyotaka Ijichi, and he has that ability called Curtain that is shown in the 4th episode. It conceals from the external world whatever happens inside. Another ability in this category is, oh my god, a moment of glory. Behold, the most famous one. The domain expansion or territorial expansion. Yeah, the Ryoki Tenkai. That ability that everybody sucks up to. It works like this. A portion of an area is separated from the real world, and inside, a personal environment is created that of course favors the user, who gains powerful combat abilities while inside. We saw this technique firsthand when Sukuna used it when he fought against that, remember the high grade curse in episode 4? Okay. To overcome this ability, someone on the outside has to break the barrier, or the affected enemy inside has to cast a stronger domain to null its effect. This is basically what we saw in the fight between Gojou and Jogo in the 7th episode. I love these names. I like Gojou and Jogo are just the opposite. It's like an acronym. Okay, now we're done with the curse techniques, and we're going to talk about another aspect that has influence directly in the cursed energy. In the very beginning, I hope you remember. With that, we'll be able to understand how the Jujutsu system works, alright? Let's roll! There's a balanced system called Vows and Risks, which is basically a condition or rule that the sorcerer creates to be exposed to a greater risk. On the other hand, he gains power in something he's chosen. It's like a swap system. We lose in one side to gain in the other. Basically, that's it. Now guess who's the guy this time? Yep, it's him, Nanami. I told you he would come back again. And if it's not cool enough, he has 2 pacts. Yeah, the guy's cool, come on. The first one is that if he reveals how his innate technique works, he earns 100% chance that he will land a killing blow, or a critical blow actually. It gets impossible to miss the weak spots. The other pact is about his working shift. While he's working during his normal shift, his cursed energy is kept kinda low, and if he runs overtime, all the suppressed energy will multiply many times. That's what we saw in episode 10 in his fight against Mahito, and the end of the episode 10 and the beginning of the episode 11. The guy's cool as hell in my opinion, seriously. Now another system that also influences directly the cursed energy is one called Heavenly Restriction or Tenyo Jubaku. It's a binding put in a newborn sorcerer. This binding seems to be everlasting. There is no way to undo it, and it works in the same way of the Vows and Risks. A sorcerer who has been under this restriction was Mechamaru. Alright, so, okay, hold on a second. I have to tell you something. I have a tiny itty bitty spoiler, but it's fine because it's gonna happen in 2 or 3 episodes, so won't affect anything. Be cool, okay? So, resuming, Mechamaru had his physical condition worsened to a point that he will never be able to walk or be under the sunlight ever, right? But in exchange, he received a huge amount of cursed energy. Another character who suffered this, but in the opposite effect, was Maki Zenin. You remember the twins? Yeah. She had her cursed energy reduced to the same level of a normal human, but in exchange, she got amazing physical prowess. And at this rate, I think something has lightened up in your mind. Well, another character who also didn't have any cursed energy but was physically strong, above normal. Come on, guess who? Yes, it's him. Itadori Yuuji. For me, this is just a theory I haven't seen in the manga nor in the anime, okay? I still have to finish reading it. Maybe they have it answered, I don't know. But I think that Yuuji was under the same heavenly restriction Maki was when he was a child. I mean, that's the only thing that can explain his super strength, right? It could have been done by the parents, because we don't know anything about them, or the grandpa. Anyway, this would be in another video that I'll make in the future. I still have to check the manga to see if this wasn't answered, because if it was, what's the point of making another video, right? Okay, to finish this, the last system is in the Cursed Technique category, and it's called Reverse Cursed Energy, and it's used to heal. We know that the cursed energy is considered negative so far, so the user does not... he does something that makes the energy flows more times. There's no really an explanation for it, but anyway, it ends up creating a positive charge or something like that. It's like a reversal polarity. We saw that when Sukuna held up Yuji's hands in episode 4. So this is all the Jujutsu power system. I hope you like it. If you wanna know more, everything about Jutsu, it's right here, alright? Videos will be every Friday. I know there are some videos in Portuguese you might find weird, but it's because my subscribers are mixed, so I hope you don't mind, alright? I have some subscribers English native, so I want to see you commenting, enjoy, and taking part in the discussion. Okay, yes, I'm so glad to have you here. See ya in the next video. Bye.